One requirement, one thing to focus on, one thing to master. That's it. I'm going to share with you what it is. If you are not doing this, you have zero chance of getting into the new earth. Why do I say that? Because you can't be sort of in faith or sort of pregnant, right? You are or you aren't. Are you ready to find out what it is? Let's go. Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through fears and live an amazing life. We went through some really weird thing, an energetic shift. No, it did not have to do with 9/11. It was like just in the beginning of September, and I was trying to shake it, going with this heavy. It's out there. I don't know what it is. You're going to experience these things, and observation is required. When you get entrenched in it and you think it's you or whatever, you become entangled and you therefore participate in it. We don't want to participate in these things. We can observe without becoming entangled. Now, you are somewhat entangled because we're all one thing, but reacting to it is critical. So we're going to go through some things. Obviously, it's going to continue on. 2024 is probably when we're going to start to get a break. So, you know what? Hang in there. This is your big test. You want to know what you have to focus on and master? You must. This is it. This is the one thing, and everything revolves around it. Your frequency. Everything's a vibration and a frequency. Everything is all one energy. No time. No such thing as time. And we are connected to everything. That's why we can know the future. We can actually experience the past. Everything is absolutely one thing. All just occurring, all probabilities, all existing. When we put our dynamic mind into the field, we create. So our thoughts are things. So we have the ability within this field of probabilities to focus and create. And this is why it's so important for you to focus on things that are high frequency. So everything's a frequency. So it's all the same thing. A tree and I, we're the same thing. But we just have different vibrations. And of course, the components, they're the same thing. Energy is energy. Now, here's what I want to share with you. You have to go to the high frequency in order to go into the new earth. And you want to do that. Because as we go through all these tests and these challenges and these changes on the planet that are actually going to take us to an amazing golden era, and wonderful, wonderful things are happening. But you can't see that or know that if you're on a low frequency. You're going to be in fear. Any conflict is low frequency. Any conflict. Making somebody wrong is conflict. Everybody's right. Because everybody's living out their own reality. And they're allowed to do that. And when we stop respecting that, we are separating ourselves. When we respect that we are one, just facets of one energy, all playing out different things, then guess what? We understand that everything has meaning and purpose. You're absolutely fabulous. You're amazing. You're going to experience things, observe it, fly through it, keep in that high frequency. Somebody said, I hope you're okay and you're back to your happy self. I'm like, I never lost my happy self. It's always here. Your one higher self is always with you. You never lose it. But now if you choose to go in a low frequency, you can say, I lost it or I'm sad or whatever. You're not really. You're just choosing an illusion to experience. But you, the higher self, that one force of all things that's perfect, always exists. It's always here. Everything else is the made-up illusion. You're getting to choose the illusion. That's what the Matrix is. The Matrix is a program so that we can play out this whole adventure. Everything's a teaching. It's experiencing. It's feeling. It's knowing things. It's triumphant and sad and all these things. Now, we've been doing all of this. We are now in an era where we're going to conclude this. Some people won't. And that's okay. And it's not up to you or me to say that they should or shouldn't do certain things. If they want to go down in a flame, then that's what they came here to do. Maybe they want to experience that. There is no good nor bad. If you do not stay in a high frequency, you have zero chance of going to the new earth. Because would you let somebody in, the house with dirty shoes on? Everything's perfectly white and beautiful, and somebody comes in with the dirty shoes? Say, clean the shoes, come in, when you get the shoes clean. Bad analogy. You get my point? It's that you don't want to come in and mess things up. You can't. You're not on that frequency. You can't even get up to the penthouse because you have to have a high frequency to get there in the first place. And everybody there wants you there. They want you to say, get rid of the dirty shoes. Come on up. You don't need shoes up here. It's perfect. You can fly. There's champagne in the penthouse. It's amazing. In the mansion. Are you down in the bottom floor in the mansion? Guess what? If you are in conflict, you're down with other low frequencies and they're all going to argue with each other. They're pointing fingers. When you start to find solutions, if you've seen my midnight message, I'm promoting alternatives, ways for you to get out of your situation. I'm promoting ways for you to be creative and find solutions for the planet and yourself. That's all I can do. It's all up to you. And it's not the be-all solution for everybody. But you know what? When you're presenting solutions for people, you open up pathways, and then they are allowed to make their own decisions with no judgment from us. Your high frequency doesn't judge, ever, ever, ever. It has compassion for everyone. Yeah, there's no line. Yeah? Okay, so our freedoms, hello. You're this endless light being. You never lost that. And the material world doesn't keep you from doing anything because your power is in here, not the physical world. So no one can damage you ever because you aren't this. So ultimately, illness, nothing can damage you. It's just an experience. It's what you're going to do within the experience that is so important. What are you doing right now? Do you have any fear? Do you have any conflict? Are you arguing? Are you having to even debate? It's exhausting. It's exhausting. I have a little rule I had to make with a friend of mine. I said, I don't want to hear a politician's name. I don't watch the news. Don't give me this stuff. It's not their fault. They're not to blame. They are not to blame. They can't be in these positions unless we're participating with it. When do we take that responsibility? It's you. It's just you. And when you go into a space of peace and light, guess what? Everything works. I imagine if everybody walked around like the Dalai Lama or Eckhart Tolle on that level, this just total peaceful being, right? We would have no problems on the planet. We'd go into the new earth because everything would be beautiful. Everything would be focused on assistance, service, receiving, thank you, giving, thank you. Love, light, compassion. Oh, we have some things to work on here because we don't want life to be boring. It'll never be boring. You do this and you're going to go into a space that you couldn't imagine. You will experience being human. I keep saying that over and over again because we think that goes away. It doesn't. Sometimes it's even just more painful. You don't struggle with it, but it's more painful sometimes to see certain things because when you're so aware and you know what we are, and you have a clear understanding of that, without having to have the details, because no human can, it goes deep. It goes deep. And because as a human being, you experience that compassion and desire for everyone to achieve this amazing space, but still respecting that it's okay if they don't. Letting go is one of the most powerful things that you can do. So I had a video, Jesus Take the Wheel, and I truly mean that. That's the toughest thing to do, is to step back and realize that there's a power of which flows through you that's even more expansive because you are the confined energy in the body. You're in a density. We lack understanding in this form. But when you allow the expansive you to operate, and there is an expansive you. If you guys saw my video, I was meditating. This is one of only two out-of-body experiences I had. I was actually awake when this happened. I was in meditation, and all of a sudden I was on the other side of the room looking at myself talking to two light beings. And I said, I think I'm going to give up fear. Popped back in my body and went, whoa, whoa. And I realized I had left the density of the body and actually gone to talk to these other light beings. And that was my higher self. It's not separate from me. My higher self was me minus the dense body. I actually transitioned into that space, that quantum one consciousness. I just connected to it. I didn't go someplace. You just connect to it because it's just one thing. You don't go anywhere. There is not something separate that makes decisions. You're doing all of it. You're just connecting to your higher self because you are everything. Don't think of yourself as a human being. So when I was talking to these light beings, I thought, oh my gosh, this is a game. This is a game. I think I'll give up fear. Huh. Wow, okay. So that was a few years ago, and I have to tell you, it's challenging to be on this planet because the whole purpose of everyone coming here, including Christ, is to experience that density and to rise above it. So even he, Buddha, Dalai Lama, all of these amazing prophets out there, there's hundreds, thousands, endless beings that have come here who've achieved amazing, states of awakening, still experience the whole human thing. Be okay with that. Go into acceptance with that. If you do not go to your high frequency, if you are not focused 100% on your frequency, then you are entrenched in the material world. And that's the negative program of the matrix. The higher frequency is the new earth, and that's in the matrix. That's still in the matrix because there's no new earth outside of there. We don't need a new earth. We are the one singularity. We don't have to go to that. That's part of a program that takes us to the higher creation, existence, probability of what's here. It's another reality. It's another probability of what we can be, and not everybody's going to go there because your reality and mine are two different ones, and it's all a very personal experience. Do you want to go there? You're going to experience it. We're going to go into a golden era that's going to be very obvious. Maybe not to everybody, but we're already going there. People are having epiphanies saying, this is the most amazing time of my life. Oh my gosh, what an amazing opportunity to be able to be here. So, if you are in Manifest Anything, my free video series, I am reshooting all those videos. I'm going to take you through the process of Total Clarity, which is my new e-course. That is the first phase, and that is tapping into your power. You gotta know it. You gotta believe it. You gotta absolutely open yourself up to it, not have to understand it. Second thing, Breakthrough Fear. Many of you have taken that course. It has just changed people's lives. Breaking through the barriers. I have all this stuff I'm believing. Let it go. Where's it coming from? Understand that. Breakthrough Fear helps you to do it. Third one's Activate Your Magic. That's going to be coming out soon. What is that? We start to do some really cool stuff. Because now you know what you are. You know you're the one creating everything. You want to do it on a high frequency, and that's the Miracle Circle membership. We want to manifest on a high frequency. We want to break through the fears. We want to get rid of all the, the barriers and the things that trigger you. And then the third thing is then nothing's in your way anymore. Everything has purpose. You understand it. You're okay with it. You're okay with feeling the human feelings. And then you realize, whoa, I can do anything. And then you're just focused on creating and expanding and service and enjoying abundance and sharing abundance and being of service with solutions and just keeping that frequency high. And that's all you're focused on. And it's so beautiful and amazing. And you go into a world that you never imagined existed. And it exists right now, right here. You just have to go into it. That's it. Get out of your own way. So, you guys know this is my free video series for creating an online business. Click, check it out, find out if it's of interest. No more criticisms, no more judgment. Observe something. Yes, no. Blessings, move over. Observe. Ah, I'm of assistance, or I need to step away. No judging. High frequency doesn't do that. It just observes, sees where it can be of service, when it needs to step away and draw boundaries, does not get entangled in all the material conflict, does not get entangled in the material conflict, the material world arguing, doesn't take sides. We're one. We're one. You're going to come to that conclusion at some point, and you're going to go, Landria, oh my gosh, now I get it. I'm going to say, I tried to tell you. All right, so sign up for Manifest Anything. Get your free mobile app there. It's pretty cool. My Canadian guys, Craft House, did that for me. They're wonderful. And then I've got more amazing stuff coming for you. When you go into the Manifest Anything series, you'll have access to all of the courses and things. I'm revamping everything to make it much simpler for you to choose, so that you can work on the things that right now are just holding you back by choice, and you can work through it and master it, master the frequency. You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings to you, my friend. Namaste.